Eric Greitens, at least as of you watching this, is running to be the replacement for retiring Missouri Senator Roy Blunt on the Republican side. He's in a contested primary. There's a lot of big candidates on the right. US Representative Vicky Hartzler, State Attorney General Eric Schmidt, US Representative Billy Long. But Eric Greitens has been one of the leading candidates. We'll see if that sticks around for much longer though, because his ex-wife just alleged that he was physically abusive towards his children and her in court documents that were filed just yesterday. And so he already, by the way, had resigned from his former position as governor back in 2018 amid a scandal involving a sexual relationship with his former hairdresser and allegations that he'd taken an explicit photograph of her without her permission. He was also accused by prosecutors of misusing his charity's donor list for political purposes. So those are the scandals we already knew about. But what do we know now? Sheena Greitens, who now lives with their children in Austin, described for the first time publicly what she says she experienced during their marriage, saying, in early June 2018, I became afraid for my safety and that of our children at our home, which was fairly isolated due to Eric's unstable and coercive behavior. This behavior included physical violence towards our children, such as cuffing our then 3-year-old son across the face at the dinner table in front of me and yanking him around by the hair. She said at one point she tried to flee with the children, quote, when I told Eric about my plans, he threatened to come to the airport and have me arrested for kidnapping and child abuse, saying that because of his authority as a former governor who had supported law enforcement, the police would support him and not believe me, and I would lose our children. So Ida, this is disgusting stuff, not just the casual violence and threats, but like weaponizing his former position to get her to do what he wants. It's disgusting.
And the men who think like him are gonna vote for him. So everybody who opposes this egregious behavior better show up at the polls, because this is the problem that we're having. We will go on Twitter, we'll go on Facebook, and we'll talk about how all these things are horrible and we don't support them. But the crimes against women, like I said earlier, have gone up. And these are the things that people have to live with on a daily basis. This woman has a voice and a platform because her ex-husband is running for political office, but there are a lot of women who don't have a platform that you never 100%. Get to hear about. And that's just, of course. And the people who support him, the reason he's up there is because there are a lot of people who don't think that beating a woman and beating children is a deal breaker. And we have to show up and outnumber those people.
100%, and it is a very open question. Would the like, let's say that every primary voter there knows about this. What percentage are gonna care? I mean, after all, bear in mind, he's not the only Republican candidate with a domestic abuse scandal going on. He's not the only Republican Senate candidate with a domestic abuse scandal going on right now. And it is not considered like it's not gonna knock all these candidates out. We'll see, but you can see the hypocrisy in action. I'll show it to you. Josh Hawley has joined some of these candidates. So I mentioned the other candidates in the primary. They're pushing for Greitens to drop out of the race. Of course, they're running against him. You can expect that they're gonna ask him to drop out. But Josh Hawley does as well. Josh Hawley is a disgusting person, but he tweeted, if you hit a woman or a child, you belong in handcuffs, not the US Senate. It's time for Eric Greitens to leave this race. And I wanna give Josh Hawley some credit for that and then immediately take it away because he hasn't reversed this tweet. Herschel Walker is the real deal. Love his faith, his optimism, and his passion for Georgia and the United States of America. He's gonna be a great senator and I'm proud to endorse him despite the allegations of domestic abuse that he's facing too. So do they belong in handcuffs or do they belong as your colleague in the Senate? Turns out it really depends on who else is running because he doesn't have a problem with Herschel Walker. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.